Hey guys, welcome back to the HFX Games YouTube channel. Today we have an exciting pre-release kit deck building video. We got Modern Horizons 3. Its pre-releases are this weekend, so we're gonna get prepped and ready by making ourselves a sealed deck. First, we're gonna open up our kit here. We get 6 packs plus our promo. So it looks like we got Sowing Myco Spawn. This guy's the Eldrazi ramp guy that blows up your opponent's land. Pretty sweet. So the first thing I like to do, I'm going to sort all of my cards by color. So we're going to get all these packs opened and sorted, and then we can get to deck building. So I just like to do it in Wooburg order. Ooh, we got a flare. Get the lands all together. White, blue, black, red, green. Multicolored artifact land is how I like to do it. Okay, there we go. Green. All right, pack 2. And after I get all of these opened, I like to kind of take a look and take a note of what rares I opened, because typically you're going to want to build around those. Red card. Ooh. We got the cutest rare in the set. Land. Right. Multicolored. White, red, black. Okay. Ooh, Winter Moon and Ruby Medallion. A couple artifacts. Both rare. Things to look out for are also the signpost commons and uncommons. So just for example, this is one of the red-white signpost commons. The archetype for white-red is energy and aggro, kind of a go-wide strategy. Kind of all the 10 different main archetypes are going to be blue-white energy flyers. There is the blue-black draw 3 cards. It's kind of the archetype for that one. So different payoffs for drawing 3 or more cards. Ooh, sweet foil. Argenteus. There is Rakdos as artifacts this time around. Usually it's like some kind of sacrifice thing, but going artifacts this time. Gruul, red-green, is Eldrazi Spawn. And let's see, Selesnya. Green-white is Bestow and Auras, so it kind of pays you off for having modified creatures. Then there's white-black, Orzhov is Sacrifice. Common one for white-black. Golgari, green-black, is 1/1 counters. We get a Detective's Phoenix. Then there's Simic, so blue-green is Eldrazi Ramp. Pretty classic strategy for Simic. We got Izzet, blue-red, Energy Midrange. Ooh. And there's a good card if we end up building that. It's Sweet Cyclops. So a lot of common blue-red things are spells, so probably still pretty spells-based. And then there's Boros, which we went over, which is the go-wide energy. So usually you're paying energy for some kind of benefit, usually like a pump to the team, extra power, that kind of thing. All right, and ooh, it's always nice. Look out for some money cards when you open your kits. Got a little fetch land, Polluted Delta. And let's see, land, colorless. Green, blue, red, white, black, green. Okay, so now all of our packs are opened, so we can go over our pool here and check out what rares we opened. So we got a Polluted Delta, which good for fixing, but not really a bomb or removal, which are the two big things you're going to be looking for. This guy is quite the bomb. 8 mana though, so we'll see if we get there. Two of our rares are Ruby Medallion and Winter Moon. Ruby Medallion, if we end up in like a red heavy deck, maybe we play it. But again, not a bomb, not removal. Check out our multicolored cards here. Kind of all over the place. No multicolored rares. Got a couple red-white multicolored cards, so maybe we do something with that. Then we got our promo card here, the green Eldrazi. We also have the green Flare, which is basically a Cultivate, if you're familiar with that card, that you can cast for free by sacrificing a non-token green creature. Okay, it's decent for green, couple rares. Let's see, we got the Detective's Phoenix, another good red card. Kind of pushes us back into the red aggressive territory. It's like some solid uncommons here too. Black, we have, let's see, no black rares. No blue rares. Any white rares? I think we had, yeah, we got Ophelia. Ophelia. Oh, we also have Argent Deus. What does this do? Let's see. It's Argent Deus, artifact, 2 cost. Enters the battlefield with 2 oil counters on it. Whenever 2 or more creatures attack, you put an oil counter on it. You can pay 2, tap, remove 2 oil counters from it to exile a target non-land permanent its controller draws 2. So that's interesting. If you're kind of doing a go wide strategy with tokens, that kind of thing, you can exile your own creature just to draw 2 cards. And that kind of benefits you for kind of a go wide aggressive strategy. And then Philia, the puppy, got a 2/2 for 2 with Flash. Whenever Philia Exuberant Shepherd attacks, exile up to 1 other target non-land permanent. At the beginning of your next end step, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a counter on Philia. Interesting. Okay, so kind of like a blink creature. But also can remove opponent's blockers as well. So that is also super solid for a red-white strategy. I think that's kind of where we're leaning based on the rares we opened. So let's try and build a red-white aggressive deck. I think we can do that. So for now, I will put the blue, black, and green cards aside, and we're going to focus on just the red-white cards. So now, like I said with this Ruby Medallion, if we really want, we could play this. If we're playing an aggressive deck, I doubt we'll want this. Our cards are already going to be fairly cheap, but good to keep in mind if I end up with like a lot of cards with like generic costs, it could possibly let me play. Maybe turn 3 or 4, play out my whole hand. But unlikely that we play the Ruby Medallion. We'll just take a look at our multicolored cards for the red-white ones. And we might play this Stump Stomp as well. Now, this is a red-green gold card, but it's got the hybrid mana, so we can pay that with just red. And we could play it as a red land tapped, and maybe splash a green card if we feel like it. So that is still a possibility that we might play. And let's take a look at our red and white cards. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on cards that help us get energy for our 2 signpost gold cards here. We went over the Conduit Goblin. So when it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you can pay an energy. If you do, another target creature you control gets +1/+0 and haste until end of turn. And then Scurry of Gremlins is the uncommon, so it's an enchantment for 4, 2 red and white. When it enters the battlefield, you create 2 1/1 red gremlin creature tokens. Then you get an amount of energy equal to the number of creatures you control. And then you can pay 4 energy, and creatures you control get +1/+0 and haste until end of turn. So basically, they both give your creatures extra power and haste. And then the Scurry is a energy creator and a payoff, which is really nice and helps you go wide with the tokens. So these definitely in the deck, 100%. Detective's Phoenix. This is the red rare we got here. 2 in a red. It's got Bestow for a red. Collect Evidence 6, so you can play it from your graveyard. Or no, this is the Bestow cost, rather. You exile cards from your graveyard for the Collect Evidence. So it's got Flying Haste. Enchanted creature gets 2/2 Flying and Haste, and you can cast it from your graveyard using its Bestow ability. So you just can't cast it as a creature. You can enchant one of your guys with it from the graveyard. So we'll play that for sure. It's a good threat. We will also play the Philia that we opened. I think it's worth playing the Argent Deus. It's a good draw engine. Also good removal if we need it in a pinch. Let's see. We got good common here. 2/3 for 3 that and adds 2 energy when it enters, and you can tap it and pay an energy to tap a creature. So that is also good. And as I pick cards for the deck, I'm going to sort them by mana cost, just so we can kind of see how our deck curves out here. See, whenever a creature enters, gain a life, 5, exile another target creature you control. So this is like a blink card. Possibly play that. Dog Umbra. That, a little better for the green-white deck. Flying, 4 mana, 3/3 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, support 2. So you put a counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures. Now that is pretty solid for a go-wide strategy. Thraben Charm, solid removal spell. Kind of the more creatures we have, the more damage it can deal to other creatures. Let's see. Volt Storm Angel, 5 mana, 4/4 flyer. When it enters, you get 3 energy, so that seems on theme. At the beginning of combat, you can pay 2 energy. When you do, either this gets Vigilance and Lifelink until end of turn, or other creatures get 1/1. So that is super solid for this deck. That's going to go in. Put these in their respective mana slots. There we go. Take more of a look at our red cards here, too. Let's see, Thriving Skyclaw, flying, enters, get 3 energy. Whenever it attacks, you may pay 3 energy if you put counter on it. Okay, that's another good aggressive energy card. A lot of text on this one. Ral and the Implicit Maze. Okay, so it's a saga. When it enters, deals 2 damage to each creature and planeswalker your opponents control. Chapter 2, you can discard a card if you do. Exile the top 2 of your deck. You can play them till the end of your turn. Then the last chapter, create a Spellgorger Weird token. Okay, so it's a 3 mana 2/2 weird. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets a counter. Interesting. It's better for a spells deck, probably the blue-red one. And another one of these Thriving Sky Claws. Phyrexian Ironworks. Whenever you attack, you get energy. Pay 3, make a golem. Okay, I like that. Good, good payoff for energy. Let's see. Hellkite, Affinity. Not really what we're doing. Menace. When it enters, you get 2 energy. Whenever it attacks, you can pay 1. Another guy gets 1/0. Good. I like that. Ooh, 2 mana 2/2 haste landfall. Whenever a land enters, Reckless Pyrosurfer gains Battle Cry. That's a really good aggressive card. Siege Smash. 2 mana split second. Destroy an artifact. Creature gets 3/2 and trample. Interesting. So a pump spell. Possibly play it. We're not totally sure yet. Might be like one of the last one that makes it in. Sarpedium Simulacrum. 1/1 haste. Okay. Then you can pay 4, sack it, deals 4 to a creature. Okay, so it's a 1/1 haste, becomes a kill spell later on. Pretty solid. Probably will play that. Okay, I think that's most of our really on theme kind of energy stuff. I might play this Inventor's Axe too. It's an equipment for 1 with flash. When it enters, you get 2 energy. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to a creature. Equip creature gets 2/0. Equip, pay 2 energy. So you get to equip it for free once, and then it costs you energy. That one feels like it might be a little trickier to include. Let's see. So typically you want 23-ish spells. We could maybe go to 24 since we're an aggressive deck. And then you want either 17 or 16 lands. So we might play 16 lands because we're a bit more low to the ground aggressive. Typically 23 and 17 though. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 spells so far. So we definitely want quite a few more. Take another look through my goal of cards. Not too much here. These are just the lands. Oh, well, we do have these barbarian rings. It says, taps for a red deals 1 to you threshold. So once you have 7 cards in your graveyard, you can pay a red, tap, sacrifice barbarian ring, and it deals 2 damage to any target. So that's probably worth playing these in an aggressive deck. Just a good way once we get them low on health to finish the game. Might play this mandibular kite as well. It's got living weapon, 1 white, so it's a 1/1 in flying that the equipped creature gets. So when you play it, it's a 1/1 flyer, and the equip is 4. Kind of expensive to equip, but not bad in an aggressive deck. Probably, yeah, we'll throw that one in. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Molten Gatekeeper deals 1 damage to each opponent. Then it's got Unearth. That one's solid. Creatures entering deals more damage. I like that. Let's see. We'll play the Siege Smash. Good to have 1 or 2 combat tricks, especially in an aggressive deck. Giving trample to a creature is really nice when we want to push through blockers. So I think that's fine to play one of those. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Wow, so okay. So we want like 6 more spells here, probably. How many artifacts are we playing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We actually have enough artifacts, I think. It might be worth playing this Furnace Hellkite. It's a pretty solid top end, especially if we can even just have a couple artifacts in play and make that cost 5 or 6 or something like that. You tend to hit a lot of lands in limited anyways, so I think we can throw that in for a solid top end. Hmm. Okay, with Dog Umbra, Flash, enchant creature. As long as another player controls enchanted creature, it can't attack or block. Otherwise, Dog Umbra has Umbra armor. Okay. So if enchanted creature would be destroyed instead, remove all damage from it and destroy this orc. That's pretty good. It's either a protection spell or kind of like a pacifism effect. So gets blockers out of the way. I don't hate that. Got a second mandibular kite here we can play. Now I got a couple cards here that are kind of on the fence. Don't super want to play them, but if they're the last card or two, then it's not the end of the world. We could potentially look at splashing. We do have a couple of these landscape cards. So Shattered Landscape lets us splash for black. It searches for a mountain, plains, or swamp. And then, let's see. That's probably the only one we'd look at playing. The rest only have one of our other colors. So we can take a quick look through, see if there's any really good black cards that we want to look at splashing for. There's also potentially some energy artifacts here we could play. Solar Transformer. There's Worn Power Stone, good ramp card. Probably don't want any of these blue cards. Let's see. It's removal. Nothing super appealing yet. Okay, so not really anything worth splashing in black. Feeling like this might just be a two-color deck. Okay, so we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we're just looking for 2 or 3 more cards to play. I think I will play this Stump Stomp. If we want it as a land, it enters tapped, but having a red removal spell is pretty good. So we'll add that. This will kind of count towards our land count, sort of, in a pinch. So this makes playing 16 lands a lot better for us, too. So we can count that kind of as a spell. We'll play the Inventor's Axe. It is kind of an energy payoff, sort of. Also just a fun combat trick. And then normally this deck wouldn't play a card like Envoy of the Ancestors, although maybe it's fine. I might be undervaluing it. So it's a 2/3 for 3 with Outlast 1 white. So you can tap it and pay a white to put a 1/1 counter on this creature, and then modified creatures you control have lifelink. So this might actually be better than I'm giving it credit for. Kind of turns into a big lifelinking threat, and this should put us at 24, unless I counted wrong. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I think this is probably where I would end up with the sealed pool. We got very obviously a very quick red deck. We got lots of 2-drops, some 1s and 3s as well, and then we got a few 4s and a 5, and we got a big 7-drop here, but that could be a lot cheaper. Yeah, so I think this deck could be okay. Tell me what you think. If you saw anything that you would rather build around, if anything else popped out to you guys, let me know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.